Hey, what y'all doing? It's me, it's Kathy, Cathy's Country Life. I'm back in the kitchen. I just got home from work. I went out to the garden. Okay, got something to show y'all. I'm going to show you this real quick, and then I got a sink full of dishes. I've got a clean dishwasher that needs to be emptied, and I'm going to clean up. I didn't do anything last night. Really, we had leftovers, but yeah, I got to get this done before I can do anything in the kitchen. So I'm just going to show y'all. I went out to the garden, and I'm so excited because look, yes, I got zucchini, I got yellow squash, and I got, this is the first time growing these, and I'm kind of excited. Hold on, they fell to the bottom. Hold on. Okay. These are born to be mild. Born to be mild. Not wild, but mild. My dog's barking because I sang. He don't like me singing. But I went out there and I picked one last night because I thought, I'm not really sure how big they're supposed to get. And then I got online and I had ordered them from Burpees. And so I went to the page about these, and the picture of them shows a red pepper. And I thought, oh gosh, they're not anywhere near done. They still got to turn red. And so this was before I picked one. And so I was reading on it, but it said that it's a green pepper. When fully ripened, it's green. So I don't know why they've got a picture of a red pepper for these. But I was reading the comments, and some people put pictures in their comments, and they look like this. So I went out there and picked one. We don't like really spicy stuff, and so I bit into it, and I was like, okay, there's no spice to these whatsoever. So I came in and I gave the rest of it to Chris, and he was like, oh yeah, those are good. I mean, no, there's no spice whatsoever. These are supposed to be a no heat jalapeno. But I can tell you what it tastes like to me. It tastes like if a mild jalapeno and a bell pepper got married and had a sweet little baby, this is what they would produce. That's what it tastes like. It has a jalapeno flavor to it with a afterthought of a bell pepper. So that's what those taste like. And they're good. And then I'm so excited about my zucchinis and my squashes. So once they start putting on, they're going to keep on going. Which I didn't plant that many plants, so I shouldn't just be bombarded with them. But I'm excited. Going to have to do something with those. And then I went out there and I cut my onion tops again. They have not emerged out of the dirt. The bulb hasn't. So I think that I did a lot of research on this. But I think that it's okay because the bulb has not emerged out of the dirt yet. And they're still standing straight up. And so I went and I picked a basket, or cut a basket full of these. And what I'm going to do with these is I am going to make onion top pesto out of this. I looked at recipes after recipes after recipes. I looked at YouTube videos of it. I've never made onion top pesto before. I do got probably about that much basil that I could pick, but it's really not enough for what I want to do in regular pesto. So we're going to do that. Not today. I think this will be a tomorrow project. I'm going to wash them really good. And see, some of them do have some dead ends on it. So I'm going to clip those off, some dried up ends. I'm going to clip those off, give them a good wash. And we're going to do that tomorrow, hopefully. If I can get caught up on my laundry. Well, I can do this between laundry. I've been a bad girl this week. I have not kept on top of my laundry, and now it's out of control. And my mother, I mean, ever since I first got married, and I got married when I was 21, she would come over like when my kids were young, and if the kids were sick or something like that, you know, she would come over so we could go to work and keep the kids, and you know, and she always did like 2 or 3 loads of laundry, and she's always said from that point up into her dying breath, Kathy, if you would do 1 load a day, you'd keep on top of it. I can hear it, and I haven't been doing that. I hardly ever do that, really, 1 load a day, but I probably do 2 to 3 a week. So anyway, it's neither here nor there. So we're going to do something with all this. We're going to cook dinner, but first I'm going to clean this mess up. And I'm not a professional YouTuber by no means, but I'm not one of them YouTubers that have stark white cabinets, white marble countertops with just a few little tidbits sitting around on their counters. I am a real wife, mother to grown kids, who my kitchen is the center of our home, and it doesn't stay spotless. I got a lot of stuff on my countertops, and I would rather not have a lot of stuff on my countertops, but it's stuff that I use, and I'd rather keep it out than have to go dig through a cabinet or something for it. So anyway, that's just a little tidbit that, you know, if you're just now watching, or you know, if you're a past viewer and you know, you're like, wow, I mean, she's got so much on her cabinets, and I do, and I'm sorry, but I'm just not one of those YouTubers that has a stark clean white kitchen with only a couple of things on their countertops. I'm just not. My kitchen is lived in. Now then, I'm not going to be cooking on a dirty surface or anything like that, but it's lived in. So I'm going to get dishes out of the sink, dishes unloaded, wipe my counters off, and we're going to come back and we're going to cook. I'm back. Okay. Got the dishes in the, wiped off the counters real good. And I put that lavender Fabuloso. I ran some hot water in here and just poured some of that in there and stopped it at the sink. Because there's some, well, I made bread the other day and some of the dough got on the bottom and I didn't wash it out, so it's stuck there. So I've got it soaking, and I just love that smell. Love it. And speaking of breads, let me show you. I made my sloppy Joe sauce that I had made before. I just browned up some ground beef and poured the sauce in there, and I thought, we didn't have any bread, no buns, nothing like that, so I thought, I'm going to whip up some bread. I didn't get none of my recipes out. I thought, I'm just going to do it. And so I was just throwing my stuff in there, and I made these long hamburger buns, hoagies or whatever, but I rolled them out, mashed them down really flat, because we don't like a whole bunch of bread, you know, like a big hamburger bun, and we're just both not big eating that much bread like that. So anyway, I made them, I squished them down thin, and they turned out so good. So after I got through eating, I was on the sofa and I got my phone notes out and I was typing in, you know, what I can remember measurements that I'd done in, and they turned out really good. And then I had a little bit of dough left, and so I just rolled them up and stuck them in the freezer. And so I set them out. I don't know if they're going to have time to thaw and rise before. Hopefully they do. We'll have that one stuff for tonight. But I will make those again and I'll show y'all. Very easy. Okay, so what we are making today is, I printed off the recipe, sour cream and chive chicken. And I got that from I think it was a YouTube short or Facebook reel. Anyway, the lady's channel is called Just the Bells. And she's one of those ladies who's got like 10 kids, and so she made this monstrosity of it, and I tried to scale it back for us, plus to have leftovers. But it looked really yummy, and I was like, okay, I've got all those ingredients. Let's do it. So, and it's not belly friendly. It's not figure friendly. This is a pretty fattening meal, but I will. Okay, so she did hers with whole pieces of chicken with the bone in, you know, like whole fryers cut up or whatever. You know, she did every part of the chicken with the bone in is how she did hers. And I'm just doing chicken tenders. Just for the quickness of it, and I didn't have any like bone-in chicken that I could thaw out. So anyway, here we go. I'm gonna bring you down, and y'all don't squawk at this because it's kind of fattening. Okay, so here I have got 2 sticks of butter melted. I have got breadcrumbs, and girls, I just broke out in a sweat in my pantry because I knew I had breadcrumbs because I make breadcrumbs, and I knew I had some, and they were sitting in my pantry just like this, and it says on here, breadcrumbs, and I thought it was cereal, so I kept overlooking it. But anyway, I've got about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs in here. And to the breadcrumbs, we are going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder. I think just a teaspoon is left in there. Put that over here to be washed. A teaspoon, I'm using she just said paprika. I'm using the smoked paprika. I'm a little bit extra, and it calls for onion powder, and this onion powder is kind of getting stuck together. I'm gonna have to make some. And a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of salt. We're just gonna mix all this together. This isn't the bad part. It's the butter. Sure I have that all. There's some chunks of paprika. Get this all incorporated very well. Are y'all dry where you are? Gosh, we are so dry. I'm having to come home and water the garden every day. We need some rain. Dusty. Ooh. Okay, so tong. I have got a casserole dish out here, and I sprayed it with a little bit of avocado oil. And I'm just going to take the chicken tenders. You can use whatever cut of chicken you want. Just know if you are using bigger pieces with the bone in, it'll cook a little longer. So we're just going to toss these in the butter. It's not an egg mixture, this is just pure butter. And we're going to toss it in the breadcrumbs. And put it in the casserole dish. So I will continue doing this. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me do this. You get the gist of it. What you got to do, swoosh it around in the butter, swoosh it around in the breadcrumbs, put it in the casserole dish. So I'll be back when I'm done with these. Okay, I got the big casserole dish and a little one. Oh, they're heavy. Okay, so I'm going to take some onions. These are little bitty Vidalia onions. Oops. Come on. And I'm just going to halve them, not have them, but half them. You get what I'm saying. And we're just going to tuck those in in between the chicken. I got 4 out. We'll see. My husband, we got these, I think a school is selling them, but they're these, I don't know if you can see that, Morris Farm Sweet Vidalia onions, and they're little, and my husband loves these. He peels him one every night at supper to eat with his supper. I think he bought some from, one bag from the school, and then somebody gave us a bag. But they are good. Very sweet. Quarter this one. Stick it right in there. Stick this one in there. She put a bunch of onions in hers, so. And then we're going to make it even more unhealthy. Let's see, put one here, put one there. Okay, so we're going to take the butter that's left over. Hold, please. I hate it when a plan don't come together. The butter had solidified. I had to stick it back in the microwave for 30 seconds. So we're going to take the butter and we're going to coat these onions really well. She was pouring it on. I may pour if I got some left, but I'm just taking my pastry brush or whatever brush and just topping them. And the little ones over here, I'm going to do these. I bet it would be better if you turned it up this way, and that way it could get down into the layers. Yeah, Kathy, that's how you do it. Okay, I'm going to drizzle the rest of it on here. Okay, into a 375-degree oven. Since I'm just doing tender, I'm going to start checking it. I'm going to check it at about 30 minutes. I was supposed to salt and pepper the onions, so I put it in the oven and then I remembered and I pulled it back out and I sprinkled salt and pepper on the onions. So, check back with you in a little bit. The chicken is ready. I'll show you. About 40 minutes. Nice and done. Okay, so here's the tricky part. I have got to get the drippings out of the pans into a skillet. So I will probably burn myself some way or another. Okay, put that back over on the stove. And then let's try this one. Can you see? Alright, let's try this one. Yes, I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do this. Okay, it's working so far. Okay, here we are. I don't think I have enough pan drippings to make the gravy, so I am going to start to add some more butter, but I'm just going to add some avocado oil. Until I think it's enough. Okay, I've got that on medium heat. And I need about half a cup of flour. If you're familiar with making a roux to make gravy, I kind of just mix in the flour and whatever grease you're using until it's a thick consistency. I may have added too much oil. That's okay. More flour, more gravy. You can see the orangey color that all that paprika that I put in there is turning this roux. I really want to get me a whisk, a silicone whisk. Okay, so I'm using about a cup of flour. I'm going to put the recipe down below and use your own judgment. I like it like that, like a paste. Alright, we want to cook this because we want the raw flour taste out of this. I'm turn it up a little bit more. Get that cooking. I turned the oven off and I put the chicken back in the oven to keep it warm. Guess who's home? Alright, when this starts cooking up, I'll come back. Okay, I got the flour browned up. We're going to add, I sprinkled a little bit of, SpaghettiOs. We don't want that much pepper. Alright, we got to start adding liquid. Alright, I got some chicken stock. I'm going to add about a cup. A lot of pepper. I'm glad we like pepper. Add some more. Add this whole quart. I'm going to add just a smidge of water in here. I do gravy by look and feel. Well, not feel, but by look. That was a really dark chicken stock. So it's making it a brownish gravy instead of a whitish gravy. And I've got some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add, this is a pint. I'm going to add the whole pint. That'll whiten it up some. Then I'm going to add two overflowing tablespoons of sour cream. And this is light, so it's canceling out all the fat that's going to be in this dish. And if you drink a Diet Coke, it's like you're not getting anything. Awesome. I'm going to get me a little spoon, taste it, and it's going to have to cool off a lot. Need some salt. And really, all that pepper I put in there is not overpowering.
Don't fail me.
That's good. That is good. I'm going to let this sit here and simmer for a few minutes. For a minute or two, and then I'm going to take it off the heat. Okay, I've kind of moved that off the heat. I let it simmer, and as it cools down a little bit, it'll thicken back up, but it's great. And this is so much gravy I made. I'm going to save it, and we'll have it for breakfast in the morning or Saturday morning. It's not like a very chickeny. I mean, it would be great over biscuits. It's not a different taste profile, I guess. So with this, we're going to have a yummy, healthy salad. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to have these potatoes O'Brien, which has got the onions and the peppers in it. I put some oil at the bottom of this skillet. I'm going to let it heat up, and then we're going to fry up some of these to go with our healthy chicken. And we are going to have something healthy. I got this cantaloupe today at the store, and it smells amazing. I just love having cantaloupe with suppers. So I'm hoping that it's really ripe. Oh my gosh, I had gone on lunch and I took it back into my office. You know, I didn't want to leave it sitting out there in the car, and my whole office smelled like cantaloupe. So it's a good smelling one. Well, I'm going to do all of them, and that'll be good for breakfast too. I'm going to heat those up. So now, I'm looking forward to a good breakfast. Alright, we're going to let those brown up. My bread is all the way thawed. Oh, get out of the way. My bread's all the way thawed, but it has not risen. The oven's too hot for me to put it in. So what I'm going to do is, when these eyes cool off some, I'm going to set it on the on a warm I can't even talk today, guys. Sorry. And put a towel over it, and maybe that'll get it to rise. And it may not rise. I haven't experimented. I mean, this is like a made-up bread recipe. It did great for fresh cooking, but it may not be one that freezes well. Who knows? But we're going to try it. All right, let's cut this up. See what we got. I thought I'd planted a cantaloupe, but I don't think it came up, and then I tried starting some more and they didn't.
You talking to me?
And I'm talking to them.
Oh,
But you can listen in. Okay. There's a little stinker. I know a little piggy who's gonna love these rinds. Set those aside for him. Oh, he'll probably like the seeds and the innards too. He's gonna get a treat. He'll like this on a hot day. One, a big fat juicy one. I mean, it's juicy, but it's real thin. Let's try. That's good. It's sweet. I got my oven preheating and I'm going to stick that bread in and see what it does. I'm fixing my in-laws some to take. That's what it kind of looks like. I sprinkled some chives over it, but I'll show you my plate when I make it. Dun, 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 dun. Don't that look scrumptious? Stars. The bread didn't rise as much as I want to, but it's super soft. Alright, so we're going to try the chicken. This is what I've been waiting on. It's tender. You can just cut it with a fork. Got some gravy on it. Oh my stars. That is delicious. From the breading on the chicken to that gravy, oh, it just complements it. That is so good. And then I got one of the onions. I got my potatoes O'Brien. That's home that I diced up with. No, I'm just kidding. You know, they were frozen, but I love them. And then I got me some cantaloupe. So this is going to be a delicious meal. I'm so excited. Thanks guys for being here with me again. I have been soaking my onion tops. I put them in a bucket and ran cold water, and I really didn't think they were that dirty, but this is my third run on water on them. Every time I pick them up and there's little bugs and dirt and stuff, and I didn't think that they were that dirty, but they are. So I'm gonna do several washings on them, and then what I'll do is I'll drain them and I'll put them in a towel and roll them up and stick it in the fridge until we can make our pesto. So again, I love you guys. Thank you. Try this out. If I can link, I think hers was a YouTube Shorts. I'll try to link her video down there, but I typed out a smaller version recipe, and I'll just type that out in the description box too. So please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and share my channel with your friends and family. That would help me out a ton. So I will see you next time.